Hi, it's Jane O'Halloran, founder of Anxiety Escape the Cage. Welcome to this live video. This is a little bit different from normal lives. I'm going to sort of delve a little bit deeper, a little bit of training with you. I'm not sure quite how long it's going to take. I've got some notes here. I'd say half an hour, 40 minutes max, but who knows? There is an opportunity to ask questions if you want. If you're watching the replay, you can always comment or send me an email or a message depending on where this video is posted. Apologies that I was not doing, I didn't do this on Wednesday. Yeah, I've been having a few headaches. Hi Debbie, good to see you. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I've been having a few headaches, so getting to the bottom of it, I think, getting there. But you know, in terms of practicing what I preach, I thought self-care, and so I postponed the session from Wednesday to today. So welcome. Okay, so let's dive in and let's see if you're I can see that Debbie's joined, so I think a few more people probably going to be joining. If you join, I can't, apologies if I don't mention your name, I can't always see. I'll work out Facebook eventually at some point, so I can't always see, so do like make a comment or say hi so I know that you're here. Great. Okay, so this training came from a post about loneliness and rejection, and I think I was quite open that for me that was used to be a really big thing, and I think it kind of goes hand in hand for me anyway. Loneliness feels like a rejection, feeling very alone, because you can be alone and not feel lonely, and equally you can be with a group of people and feel lonely. So loneliness is not necessarily about who you're with or what's happening in the outside world. Feeling lonely is something that comes from inside. It's not dependent on the outside circumstances, and I think that's quite an important factor, because a lot of people, if you feel lonely, you're looking to other people to remove that loneliness, really. And yes, of course, we all need to connect with people, but unless we feel that emptiness inside of us, we're never going to feel that connection. We're never going to quite get that connection. Okay, hi Anna, I see Anna's joined. So we just missed a tiny bit, just talking about loneliness and being alone. You can feel lonely when you're with a group of people, and you can feel and you can be on your own and not feel lonely. So it's an inside job. It's an inside job, really. And I wanted to, I don't know, you might have heard of Brené Brown. She's an amazing teacher, speaker. She's done a lot of research about shame and vulnerability. Amazing woman. So if you get a chance to look up her YouTube, Brené Brown, or look at her books, but she talks about the difference between fitting in and a sense of belonging. And that's a big difference, isn't it? Because sometimes we can try to fit in with other people, and what fitting in is not being authentic to yourself. It's by changing something about you in order to almost pretend to perhaps to other people, and even pretending to yourself that you're fitting in with a group of people. It's like a false sense of belonging, whereas true belonging comes from yourself. You have that sense of belonging within you, so that you can have a rich experience with other people, but equally you can have a rich experience while you're on your own. So true belonging comes from within. It's not about fitting in with other people. And yes, as humans, we are hardwired to connect with others, But like I said, you're not going to get that connection if you've always got that emptiness inside. It's not going to be filled by other people. Okay, so I'm referring back to my notes because I know that if I don't, I'll go off on all sorts of tangents, and we'll be here this time tomorrow. So yeah, like I said, I know that feeling of being lonely, feeling rejected, feeling alone, and it comes from that inner emptiness, and that's what we have to work with. So, you know, how do we work with it? How do we do that? Yeah, so Anna's agreeing. I can see that Anna's commenting, and she was saying that absolutely, it's true, isn't it? And yet we maybe all know it on like a rational level, but deep down we can still have those patterns, can't we, of looking outwards for what we need. I think there's a big difference between knowing something logically and knowing it deep down, and changing how our patterns, our behavior, our thoughts. So how do we change it? Okay, so one of the things that I teach are 4 shifts in order to do the internal work, basically, so that we have what we need inside of us. And one of the I'm sorry, and this is something that I've developed from my own personal experience of anxiety, of depression, of low self-worth, as well as all the things that I teach. I've kind of distilled it into 4 shifts, okay, to help you to overcome and to loneliness, rejection, any emotional pain, anxiety, depression, shame, anything really, to help you overcome that and build that inner strength. So I teach the 4 shifts, and one of those shifts that I want to talk about today is called the empowerment process. And I love that. And you know, people that I work with always say they love this empowering thing. I'm like, yes, we're empowering ourselves. Maybe I'm a megalomaniac in another life, but you know, we want to empower ourselves. So, and the empowerment process itself is made up of 4 stages. So I want to talk about those 4 stages of the empowerment process. And if you've got any questions along the way, do comment. I'll just make sure I'm not keeping up with everybody. So the first stage of the empowerment process is learn to relax. Big one, learn to relax. Proper, deep relaxation of your body, of your mind, of emotions. Deep, deep rest, peace, and stillness. So, yes, reading a good book, having a bath, going for a walk, a glass of wine, you know, all of those things people often think of as relaxing. And yes, they've all have value, but it's not proper relaxation, proper deep stillness. It's really not the same thing. We're talking about 2 different things completely here. And relaxation has a multitude of benefits. And in fact, I was looking online today just to get, I mean, we probably can all reel off a list of benefits anyway, but just sort of was looking up a few things today. So decreased heart rate and respiration rate, lowered blood pressure and increased blood flow. So these are like your physical benefits. Relaxed muscles, reduced pain, illness, chronic conditions, boost in energy and better sleep patterns. But on an emotional level, decrease in anxiety, depression and insomnia. A sense of calmness and confidence. Improved coping abilities. So those are just a few. They're not even all of the benefits. But if I said to you, if somebody said to you, you know what, I've got a pill. If you take this, it will reduce your depression, your anxiety, it'll help you sleep, it'll give you confidence, it'll give you energy, It will help you feel, relax your muscles. It will improve your physical health. You'll be like, yeah, you know, I want that. But relaxation does all of that. So really a lot of benefits of relaxation. And it's that allowing, when you learn to properly relax, and it is a skill and an art, and it takes practice, like learning a language. You have to work at it. But when you get it and you do it properly, you learn to get that sense of well-being from yourself. And that is so empowering, because you don't need to rely on anyone else. Think how amazing that would be in your life if you could have that control and get that for you. And maybe just comment, you know, in the comments if that is something that you really would want. And most people, you know, don't know how to relax properly, and let alone make it a priority in their day. You know, practice it. Like brushing your teeth twice a day, like having a shower, like making sure that you're eating as healthy as you can. All of those things. Relaxation needs to become part of your daily routine. The other benefit of relaxation is, oh good, I'm getting some hearts coming up, some likes. That's great. So the other benefit of relaxation is that lasting change can really only happen from a place of relaxation. Because when we are relaxed, we're more open to absorbing new things. Our subconscious mind is more available when we're relaxed. We can do things, we can create a change from that relaxed state that goes deep. When we're stressed, which is the opposite of relaxation, we're closed down. The brain closes everything down other than that single tunnel vision about how to remove yourself from danger. So it's in a very primitive survival mode. It can't think about things other than removing yourself from danger in that moment. So whether that be fight, flight, or freeze. So when we're in that stress mode, which a lot of people are, and obviously if you're suffering from anxiety or you're feeling that pain of loneliness and feeling rejected, you're going to have, your body is and your mind is going to be stressed, and therefore you're not able to think, see the bigger picture, and you're not able to go deep with any changes. It just won't last. So that brings me to the second part of the empowerment process. Okay, reprogram. So, you know, do you often try to make a change a habit? Like, I don't know, you know, stopping eating biscuits, or going for regular exercise, or trying to change the way you think. And maybe you succeed for a little while, but you always end up coming back to the start, always end up reverting back to your old habits. You never get that traction to go forwards. That's because your mind and it's mainly the subconscious here. We're not always aware of this, but it's programmed like a computer. Now, I don't know a lot about computers, I have to say, honest, but I know that if a computer is programmed a certain way, then that computer will function relative to the way it's been programmed. That program will be running in the background, and the information that you can get, or the information that the computer gives you, will all be related to the way that that's been programmed. So you can see where I'm going here, can't you? your brain, your subconscious mind, has also been programmed. And this happens from usually an early age. Before we're 7, we take everything in. We have no filter. So any messages, whether direct, indirect, whatever, they just go straight in. And that is when a lot of our programming happens, to be honest. And it could be even just a little throwaway comment that somebody said, a parent or a teacher. It could go deeper. But you're already starting to be programmed. And then throughout your life, you've been programmed. So you've got to ask yourself, what is your programming? You know, have you been programmed to succeed or to fail? So I'll tell you a little bit about my a story. I think some of you might have heard this. When I was little, I was at primary school or middle school. My dad used to drop me off at school early, me and my brother. There was not many other people in the playground, and I would stand on my own in the playground. My brother would go off and run around and play, and I think there was a few of his friends already there. But I would stand on my own in that playground, fairly empty. And as the playground filled up, I would still be on my own. So the gradually kids would come and they'd start moving off into little groups and they'd start playing, and I would be still stood on my own. And I remember the feeling of rejection, of loneliness, of bewilderment, of feeling inferior. You know, I felt inferior to all those other people because they had friends. They could, you know, whatever they were doing, they would be standing talking or running or laughing or, you know, playing, and I would be stood on my own. And that little girl who stood on her own in that playground was always, you know, in my head. So that there was a program in my head. It was that little girl basically saying, you're not good enough. You're inferior. There's something wrong with you. Other people have got it. You haven't. And until I dealt with this, until I reprogrammed, she was always there telling me that I couldn't succeed. So whatever I did, whatever changes I tried to make, she was there going, what's the point? You're not good enough. You're never going to do it. And so I would always sabotage myself. And sometimes you don't always realize that. You know, you might think, why is it that I know that I need to do this, but I'm not doing it? You know, I'm always finding something else to do. I'm always finding an excuse. I'm always got something else that takes priority over this one thing that I know if I did it would make a difference to me. That's what's called sabotaging yourself, procrastinating, sabotaging. And we all have it, you know. And so this little girl inside me was kind of really, her voice was strong. And it really affected me. And I worked with her, little girl inside me, and I worked to reprogram my subconscious mind that was telling me that. And, you know, she still pops up sometimes. I'm not saying it's, you know, she's gone, but I know her voice, and I can work with it, and I get the help I need, and I kind of go, okay, this is what's going on here. But if you're completely unaware that voice, whatever that voice for you is, and it may be a completely different scenario, it may not be anything you can remember, but there will be something under there. So reprogramming starts with deep relaxation. That's the first step. And then we work to reprogram gently by working with the body, by working with the breath, by working with the mind, and by working to connect with that greater part of us, call it the spirit, whatever you want to call it, that higher part of us, working in that coordinated way. And as you start to gently, by being through a state of relaxation, as we start to do that, and then we start to gently introduce new programming, we gradually introduce new programming, we practice it, then the old programming kind of becomes redundant, eventually becomes redundant. And so that's the way we do that, is through, like I say, deep relaxation and through creating new programming by working with all levels. That's the important thing. We have to work, because we're not just a body, we're not just a mind, we're not just our emotions, you know, we're not just the fact that we breathe. We're much more than all of that. Okay, so that was the second stage of the empowerment process, reprogram. So if anyone's got any questions, let me know. Oh, we've got, okay. Sorry, I've just seen this, Dorinka. Is there any, I could say this. Okay, Dorinka, if you message me privately, I've got a training on this, so I can send it to you. Yeah. Okay. And you can, yeah, you can save it from here, from the group as well. But if you want more depth. Any more questions before we continue? Good to see you. If it's resonating with you, if it is resonating with you, just maybe comment, just put a little yes or a little heart, send me a little heart or a thumbs up. Nice. Great. Okay. So the third part, the third element of the empowerment process is realign. You probably noticed they all begin with R. It's just catchy, help you remember. Realign with your inner wisdom. Okay. Now I come from the yoga tradition, which says that you have everything within you that you need. It's all within you. Okay. But we can't see it. And there's a beautiful, in one of the yoga scriptures, there's a beautiful description of that. They say it's like dust on a mirror. So the mirror, it represents yourself, your beautiful shining inner self, where your natural, it's your nature, which is all of the resources, everything you're looking for is that mirror. It's that inner wisdom. But it's covered up by dust. And that dust is the programming, is all those thoughts and beliefs and habits that we have that cover up the reality of our inner wisdom. And so what we want to do is remove the dust. Okay, but we don't want to remove it all at once, because you can imagine you've got a mirror and you blow on it and all the dust comes off it. It'll completely cloud your vision. You won't be able to see anything. Okay, so we work gently, as I said, with the body and the mind and the breath and all of us, all of the aspects of ourselves. And as we start to do that, it's amazing, actually. It really is amazing. As we start to work, we start to uncover something within ourselves. And what you're uncovering is that inner wisdom, that your true nature. And it is, it's joy, it's confidence, it's peace, it's that sense of belonging. That is that mirror. But the dust is in the way. So it's not like there's anything wrong with you. It's like you just have to clear away that dust. I love that. I'm not great at dusting at home, by the way. But you know, this is another kind of dusting, isn't it? So when you clear away all that stuff, what you find is this most precious thing within you. And that wisdom will, if you allow yourself to be guided by that wisdom, it will take you where you want to go. It really will. If you just allow, because often the mind, isn't it? It's the mind that gets in the way. It's fear And fear is the mind. It's the mind going into the future, or worrying about the past, or worrying generally. And that's where the fear comes from. But when you clear that dust away and you connect with that inner wisdom, there is no fear. There is only love and light and peace. It's amazing, it really is. And the more we clear the dust, little patch, a little patch, a little patch, the more we practice, because this is about practicing this. This isn't just going to be a magic pill or a magic wand. But the more you practice the techniques that I teach, the more you start to live from that space. You start to live from that space of inner wisdom, of peace, of joy, of confidence. And that's huge. Just think about that in your life. How would that feel to live from that place? It would be a huge change, I think. A huge, it's life changing, really, isn't it? I think it is really. And do comment, do join in with me. I'm really happy to hear your thoughts and your comments. So this realigning with your inner wisdom leads me to the fourth part of the empowerment process, which begins with R. I don't know whether you can guess. Realize your purpose. This is a big one. When you live from your purpose, you get fulfillment. And I think that is what most people are looking for. Most people are looking for some kind of fulfillment, to feel valued, to feel they've got a role in this life, to feel that purpose. But I have to say, most people don't know their purpose. You know, if you say to people, what's your purpose? They're like, oh, I don't know, you know. But it's such a key part of our human experience that actually to live your life without any idea of it, I think is missing something quite key. So when you start to remove the dust from the mirror and you tune into your inner wisdom, your purpose starts to emerge. And it doesn't have to be something lofty, like my purpose is to, you know, bring peace to the earth. And also it might not be something tangible, like for some people they might be an artist or a singer. It doesn't have to be like that. Not everybody has got that thing. You may not have a specific talent, but there will be something that is a unique expression of you. And that's what it's about. It's about uncovering that unique expression of you, which then infuses your life. So it may not even be that you need to make any big changes to live your purpose. It may be more of an inner shift where you feel like you're able to uniquely express you. And that usually for a lot of people that will lead to creating other changes in your life. But it may not. It doesn't. The thing is, it really doesn't matter. It's not about other people saying, this is what your purpose should be, or you don't even have to tell anybody your purpose. But if you feel that purpose, if you connect with that authentic expression of you, and then you're able to infuse your life with that, then you're living your purpose, and it's amazing. You know, it adds, it's a key factor, I think, in our happiness, is to feel fulfilled and to have that purpose. And being able also to live your purpose. So sometimes people, they kind of uncover their purpose, and then they need a little bit of courage, a little bit of inner strength to actually make some changes that they want to make. Like I say, you don't have to, but you may want to. And so, which kind of comes back to all of it, doesn't it? So you're able to learn to properly relax and find that peace and that stillness, which in itself is what most people are looking for. And then, you know, we reprogram the negative thoughts and beliefs that we have deep down so that we can start to succeed in what we do. We can connect with that inner wisdom. We can move the dust from the mirror and uncover that purpose and then live that purpose. So when you have all of those things, you know, you have peace, stillness, confidence in yourself, inner strength, and a deep sense of belonging. So all of those things come from within, and you find that sense of belonging that I talked about at the beginning from within yourself. So loneliness, rejection, anxiety, depression, shame, any emotional pain starts to dissipate, starts to leave you, because you've connected with something much, much greater, much stronger. So, oh, hi Nancy, thanks for joining. Lovely to see you. Go back and watch the replay. We're half an hour in, so do watch the replay. If anyone's got any comments or questions, please feel free to just pop them in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, then, you know, message me or put something in the comments. Just, is this resonating with people? Speak to me. Yeah. Okay. So that's really it, what I wanted to say. Those are the 4 aspects of the empowerment process. The empowerment process is just one of 4 shifts. If you're interested, I can send you the whole of, I've got a training, it's about 45 minutes, talks through all of the shifts. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Taking you from that feeling of kind of being at the mercy of everybody else, being at the mercy of situations and other people, to being able to find that inner strength within you, that peace, that joy, that sense of purpose. So if that's something you're interested in, get in touch with me. And I think that's it for now. I'm just looking at who's joined. Let me look at my notes. Yep. Oh, about half an hour. That's great. So thank you everybody for joining me. If you found this training useful, let me know. I can do more. I can send you more information. Do contact me, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Love and light.